So Barcelona get us underway in the second half. Lovely little moment just before the resumption of this second period when Barcelona's front three were joking, backslapping between them. They get on so well. We've seen that on the pitch, but off the pitch, it's a similar story. That integration of Suarez has been very, very successful, as Jerry touched on during first half commentary. It does take a while to settle to a new team, a new league. But I keep harking back to those great comments from Thierry Henry when he pitched up here at the Camp Nou, and he said, learning to play the Barcelona way takes time. It's almost like learning a new sport, Henry said, but once you have learned it, the feeling when you master it and it all comes together is like no other. Well, and that's exactly how Suarez must feel.
The team was happy with his contribution and they knew he would come up with the goals eventually. It's just slotted into place. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. They all started putting them together, and now the pieces have fallen in, and it's perfection at the moment. It really is. It's just fabulous to watch, and you feel sorry sometimes for teams that have to come and play them, because you know Barcelona's going to have 69-70% possession. They've got quality in every department. I just feel sorry for the opposition trying to come and stop and break them down.
No changes in personnel, incidentally, at half-time. Jerry, were you thinking that Athletic might bring the experience of Gerpegi into their defence?
Well, I saw Gerpegi warming up along with a couple of others, and I thought, are they going to try and put him in and maybe go three at the back and go with wing-backs? But here, this is Neymar. He was looking for Iniesta, just didn't quite come off that time, but they've given the ball away. They need to keep possession better the second half for me.
There's Iñaki Williams trying to do just that.
Done really well, won the free kick. Sergio Busquets just getting too close to him.
Sergio Busquets' father played in a Copa del Rey final. The goalkeeper with Barca, Carlos. He was a loser that day against Atletico Madrid. Piqué dealing with the bouncing ball comfortably enough. San Jose. Iraola.
He's done well, he's won the corner, and that's what they need to do more of, Kevin. Get up there, put crosses in, get a corner kick, and it gives a chance for San Jose to get forward. Echeta, you've got Adarith, who's excellent in the air. I think that's the only way. They've got to get some more service into the box. Get something. They must score the next goal, though, for me.
Beñat will take the corner. Diving in where the boot was flying was Dani Alves. He's earned the free kick.
Well, he's always been brave.
Got rather less cover on that hair, hasn't he? He's had a pretty sharp razor since we last saw him as Dani Alves.
Well, he got a kick in the head for his troubles as well. He's put his head down a wee bit, but you can see he gets caught in the top of the head there by San Jose. He's okay. He's a tough cookie.
That hairstyle would suit you, Jerry, if you fancy it one day.
Oh, his grey hair is better than day hair.
Well, we'll see him at some stage, won't we? Xavi Hernandez?
Absolutely, no doubt about it in my mind. He was very relaxed when we saw him earlier. He was walking up the pitch and then went down and sat down beside the doctor and chatted away with some of the other teammates. They were, as Pedro said to us, we're chilled out. He says we're very relaxed.
Well, all the pressure is on the Basques. And Los Leones, the Lions, roar back into this final. Won by Beñat. Here's Williams. San Jose. Having his birthday spoiled at the moment. San Jose is 26 today.
Barcelona having to defend for a change. Oh, Dani Alves breaking down the right-hand side.
Support from Rakitic. Suarez. Third man run there was from Dani Alves. Didn't quite open up. Barcelona get on with it quickly. And here's Rakitic. No problems in the end for Herrera.
Yeah, there was a deflection from the cross from Rakitic by Laporte, and that took the pressure off a little bit, but they're starting to go forward a lot more in the second half. Bilbao trying to get the next goal. Oh, given away cheaply.
Immediately puts them on the back foot. Neymar slots it in towards Messi. Good position taken up by Velasco Caballo, the referee, and said it was a fair challenge. There was no real appeal from Messi, to in all fairness.
I always think that's a clue as well, Kevin, and Iniesta wins it back. Suarez is fouled there. Still not keeping possession long enough. All that Bilbao was saying earlier, 1-2 passes in to give it away, and then there's a little bit of a panic. You can see them trying to blend. Thiago's trying to get back. I didn't think it was a free kick. It's a good challenge that you can see there. Laporte gets in and makes an excellent challenge, and there is no appeal from Lionel Messi.
Alves. Messi. Dani Alves again. Messi gallops into the middle. Comfortable take. Unattended really there. Iago Herrera, who looks early for Iñaki Williams.
Inyaki's done well again, Kevin. Like every time I see this young man, I like more and more what he does. Gets on with it. Gets his body in there. He had 2 defenders, won the free kick.
2 weeks away from his 21st birthday, Iñaki Williams. Not overawed by his presence in this Copa del Rey final.
Well, Xavi stripped and ready to come on. Probably a straight swap with Iniesta.
Beñat with a free kick. Stuffed away easily by Mascherano. Stinza. Away by Piqué. Only as far as Mikel Rico. On by Iraola. Iñaki Williams trying to set it up for Iraola. And it'll be an athletic corner.
It's good from Athletic Bilbao. Really having a go the second half, come out with a little bit more determination and impetus and causing more problems for Barcelona, but they've got to start making these free kicks, corner kicks work, as Luis Enrique pass on final instructions to Xavi Hernandez before he comes on.
Beñat gets in a nice looking cross. Nobody really attacked it in the red and white shirts, and in the end it's life comfortable for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Wasn't the worst cross in the world, that, from Beñat. They need to get more bodies in and around the goalkeeper. Opportunity to do so now with another Beñat free kick, which will further delay the entrance of Xavi.
Well, you can see Dani Alves is annoyed because the arm comes out, the hand comes out into his face from Adarith. And there's Mascherano and him getting to grips with each other. Looks more like a wrestling match there, doesn't it?
Drifted in by Beñat. Time here for Rakitic. Neymar. Busquets. Lovely touch into the path and stride of Neymar. Now Suarez.
Well, he was stretching there, Suarez. The final pass wasn't a good one, but they've won the throw-in. It was a good counter-attack, Kevin.
Well, here comes the change. Jerry has called it absolutely right. It's Iniesta who's going to make way. for the final time in a quite wonderful career. Arguably the greatest Spanish footballer of all time comes into this cup final. The great Xavi Hernandez. His 766th game for the club, an ongoing Barcelona record.
He is something else. He's a superb, and a credit to himself and his family. He just had a great career. I don't think it's totally over yet. The free kick's been given here in favour of Barcelona against Beñat. That's the reason why. There was a little bit of pulling from Balenciaga. It wasn't Beñat at all.
Might break here for Suarez. Well, they only did just enough there, Athletic Bilbao, to close out the Uruguayan. They were somewhat asleep there, and eventually it was Cheta who got across to make the vital block here.
Kevin, it's the last-ditch challenge. He sticks his right leg out. He does brilliant at Cheta.
Rakitic. Dani Alves. Barcelona in the mood to put the final to bed here. Offside against Messi.
Well, another one that's quite tight. You can see him coming in behind the full-back. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, right decision. He's at least a foot offside. The linesman's got it spot on.
Markel Susaeta is stripped and ready to come on for Athletic Bilbao.
Yeah, he's offside. You know, we get the replay sometimes, Kevin, to watch the linesmen and the officials. They have to get it right in free-flowing play, which is a lot quicker than that.
Jerry, this is the end of a quite wonderful career for Andoni Iraola. His last ever match in the red and white of Athletic Bilbao.
What a fabulous player. I remember Guardiola 3 or 4 years ago said he would love to sign Iraola because he was a complete player. He could play anywhere in midfield, anywhere up front, anywhere at the back, and he had such great quality. So there's no better testimony from anyone than Guardiola than that. I just think he's done fantastic for his club and obviously his hometown, and I hope he has a good time in the United States.
Balenciaga is the recipient of it.
He's not happy with it.
Well, he just felt that Messi got his legs in a tangle here.
I don't think he's done anything wrong, Kevin. He hasn't really touched him. He hasn't had a kick at him. I think that's a cheap one. Let's hope he doesn't get another one.
Iraola is all set, we understand, for a move to the United States and the MLS. Xavi on the ball here will be playing his club football in Qatar with Al Sadd. At least that's what everybody expects. I've seen quite a lot of speculation that Paris Saint-Germain might try and make a cheeky move for him on loan. Still do a job, couldn't he, Xavi, at 35 in a major European league?
Absolutely. You know, I could see him contribute to 20, 25 games, even though he's 34, 35 now. He still passes the ball well. He still has that fantastic brain and sees passes. He may not see the crucial passes all the time, Kevin, like he used to do 3 or 4 years ago, but I do believe he's still a very fit lad. We looked at him out in the pitch earlier and he looked good. Here's Jordi Alba. Oh, that's uncharacteristic from Jordi Alba, and he holds his hand up. Normally it'd have been on the end of that.
Jordi Alba says he believes this has been his most perfect season as a Barcelona player. And he and his colleagues could yet be on the way to a perfect treble, matching the Guardiola side of the 08-09 season. Athletic supporters doing their best to raise their players here.
The fans have been brilliant, haven't they? They've really given plenty of vocal support to both sets of teams, and from Athletic Bilbao, trying to raise it just a little bit more to get the next goal and give themselves a fighting chance.
A statement of the obvious, but Athletic have to score next.
Well, a little bit of archy-barchy because this foul coming in another wreath from pulls him back. Are they saying it should have been a yellow card, or does the referee feel he goes down a little bit easy? Busquets needs to be careful.
Susaeta's free kick. Athletic win the initial header, but Mikel Rico couldn't make anything of that. Here's Beñat.
I do think it's been a more productive second half, Kevin, from Athletic Bilbao. This 15-minute spell has been excellent, but they haven't scored. And they really got to test this goalkeeper, Ter Stegen.
Iñaki Williams given that straight to Messi. Just found Dani Alves in a tight spot. Just need to take this decent spell, Athletic Bilbao, into troubling Ter Stegen in that Barcelona goal. Well, you'd think they were leading 2-0, wouldn't you?
Great supporters, Kevin. Absolutely fantastic. Getting behind the team, and it's a day out for them. You know, it's been a great day out for them. And certainly they were in numbers last night in Barcelona and today. And I think they've edged it. I think there's certainly more Athletic Bilbao fans than Barcelona fans in the stadium tonight.
Well, it's brought a response from the Barca fans. They don't want to be out-shouted in their home stadium. At the sight of close to 40-odd thousand red and white shirts in the Camp Nou is something to behold.
I've never seen anything like it before, Kevin. It's given us such a great atmosphere. And the first half was excellent, and Bilbao really pushed it to try and get the next goal. Susaeta still warming up.
Lots of space here for Rakitic. Suarez looking to bend his run and stay onside. Messi, Alves. Rakitic coming from an offside position there.
You can see the back four of Athletic Bilbao are pushed up, Kevin, quite a high line, trying to catch them offside, but they did that for the second goal and it cost them. They get it wrong again, it's going to be a third goal.
Susaeta's introduction is making it look more like a genuine front three now for Athletic Bilbao. They need to gamble in the position they are. Here's Iñaki Williams. Can't find a way past Busquets. Xavi purposely played there to Lionel Messi, so strong.
Well, Beñat's done well getting a foot in there. This is part of the gamble for them, pushing players forward, leaving themselves only three at the back on occasions. You get Messi on a one-on-one. Could spell big trouble.
Here's Beñat, who's in his second spell with Athletic. Hasn't really hit the heights of his form when he was at Real Betis. It earned him some Spanish caps. By Athletic standards, they paid big money to get Beñat back to San Mamés, €8 million.
Mistake from Mikel Rico. annoyed with himself. All the president's men.
Just caught sight there of Josu Urrutia, who was a former defender with Athletic Bilbao. He's the club president these days.
That's
watching
offside.
Neymar in possession, in good position here to threaten the Brazilian. It's Neymar! My goodness.
Wow. Everything went right until he came inside on his right foot. I don't know if it bobbled or he miscued, but it's not what we were expecting. Does really well here. Good ball from Xavi. Wide to Neymar. He picks it up one-on-one, skips inside. 1-2 players, and then he's trying to bend it into the top corner, and he gets it totally wrong.
Joint top scorer in the Copa del Rey now this season. Neymar with that first half goal, equaling the 7 of Sevilla's Iago Aspas.
Look at this.
Yellow card arriving here for Iñaki Williams.
He's got no options now because he keeps it in play. He chases after Rakitic, and he clips him from behind. He's a young player. He's inexperienced. He's learning his trade. I think he's doing really well this season, and there's better things to come.
Front row on the left there is Bartomeu, the current president of Barcelona. Free kick delivered by Xavi. Almost fell for Suarez, but the offside flag is up.
I think he was actually onside. Suarez, whoever was behind him, was offside, but he misses the ball. Let's have a look, see. Well, no, there's 2 of them offside. Somebody in front of us, Neymar and Suarez, are both offside. They both missed the ball.
Suzaeta is going to lose out in that chase.
Well, he should provide him with more width. They need to get him out in this wide position, especially as Jordi Alba likes to push forward. Gets him on the break, he can get down and maybe produce something for that area. He needs better service than he's had. Lovely 1-2, Rakitic and Dani Alves. Oh, free kick.
Well, Beñat clearly disagrees. But once again, look at the position there of Carlos Velasco Caballo. He sees that from close quarters and favoured Alves. Luis Enrique, as I said earlier, it's not all been plain sailing in his first season in charge. You remember that first game of 2015 after the winter break when he rested Messi, Neymar and Dani Alves and lost at Real Sociedad. After that, though, it's been glory all the way. There was some talk that he'd fallen out with 1 or 2 of the players, perhaps Messi. Not always the easiest character to get on with, Luis Enrique. Jerry, you know that.
Yeah.
You know that well enough. He can be taciturn at times. He's a different character to Pep Guardiola, but they're all in harmony at the moment.
They are. He's done really well, and he's been the boss as well, to actually force a hand to some of the players and say, right, this is the way it is. He did it with Piqué at the start when Piqué was a little bit tardy and late and not putting in the total effort, and he left him on the bench, and he said, look, I'm going to pick you then. So they've all upped the ante. He had a little bit of a tete-a-tete with Messi as well, and he's come out on top. The players are playing well. It's the best I've seen Barcelona play for quite a few years now, and the front 3 are so good, it's untrue. Piqué on the ball, can't finish on it.
Mikel Rico, only to Alves. Barcelona potentially now just a little over 20 minutes away from their 27th Copa del Rey success.
Well, I still think Luis Enrique's looking to make a change to try and save some legs. He's maybe starting to think ahead to Champions League.
Here's Xavi.
He's got a good bench as well. That's a great ball.
Spears that inch perfect for Dani Alves.
What a super pass.
Might just have been the pass of the game, and there's been a few good ones.
What a super pass from left to right. Excellent. Still considering who it's going to be. Look at this first touch, and then it's blocked. Had a great game again. Dani Alves gets forward all the time.
Here's Messi. Alves. Rakitic will settle for the Barcelona throw.
Well, they're going to make a change. It's just who and where.
No way through for Suarez. No pressure here on Mascherano. Jordi Alba. Xavi. Alves. Rakitic. Well, these are hard yards now for the athletic players. Messi.
Well, he's overhead that one. It's just losing a little bit of momentum, Kevin, for me the last 10-15 minutes, and certainly it has been a really good start to the second half, but Ernesto Valverde's looking at making more changes down below. He's going to take another big gamble, I think, as Neymar wins back the ball.
Athletic Bilbao will get Ander Iturraspe and Ibai Gomez on from the bench in the next break. Iturraspe a holding midfield player, Ibai Gomez a winger. Mascherano. Xavi to Rakitic. Now drops for Dani Alves. Neymar. Back to Alves. He's got in behind Mikel Rico here. And in goes Messi! Barcelona's Cup in 2015 now assured with another Lionel Messi goal. 3-0, there's no way back for the Basques.
Well, that's the icing on the cake, and Kevin, it looked like they dealt with it because the ball from Dani Alves after a lovely 1-2, he goes beyond. Watch it here. He's gone on, and you can see he's going to get the cross in, but there's two defenders in front of Messi, and they go to sleep. They just go to sleep, and Messi poaches in front. He's will-o'-the-wisp. He jumps in front, outside of the left foot, sticks it in the back of the net, and it's poor defending from Athletic Bilbao. But it's Lionel Messi once again who's wide awake, and well done. Another assist from Dani Alves.
Well, Luis Enrique knows it now. That is part two of the bid for the treble accomplished. Adariz knows it.
Well, they flirted with the opportunities for 15-20 minutes. It's Mikel Rico coming off now, who's worked his socks off. But Kevin, they had a goal for 15-20 minutes and came close to sort of trying to get a goal back, but they came up short, and that's the bottom line. And then they've gone to sleep for the third goal.
Just to confirm those changes, Mikel Rico off, Ibai Gomez on, and it was Benyat who made way for Iturraspe. seemingly now just a case of if Barcelona want any more goals in this final. That third goal really has silenced the athletic support now, at least for the time being. I'm sure they'll find their voices again. It's Catalan throats that are ruling the roost right now.
Well, they're just in cruise control, Kevin. With 15 minutes to go, they can pass it and do what they want, you know, and that's what they'll probably do. And I can see certainly substitutes coming on for Barcelona. There's two of them there. Pedro is certainly one of them.
Jeremy Mathieu, the other.
Yeah, so you can rest the player at the back and rest the player up front, and start to concentrate on Juventus next Saturday. Oh, free kick. Advantage played by the referee.
Here's Xavi, helps it on beautifully to Suarez, and good alert goalkeeping in the end from Iago Herrera.
Another piece of excellent goalkeeping, and Suarez looking to poach on the end of this little pass from Xavi Hernandez. A tight one. Looked like he might have been offside.
Meantime, it's Mathieu who's going to replace Jordi Alba. Another very sound performance from the excellent left-back. Mathieu been playing mostly as a centre-back in his recent career, but played a lot in his early years at Valencia at left-back, so can easily slot in there.
He plays where the manager Luis Enrique puts him. He complained about that before when they played against Real Madrid, and it backfired when he played left back, and he had a moment up about it, but I think he's kept quiet since. Now Suarez coming off, he's worked hard, need his legs for next week. He's been out injured. It's a good move for me.
Well, the pictures tell the story of the impact Luis Suarez has made. And on comes Pedro Rodriguez.
I was speaking to him earlier, Kevin, with you, and I was saying, is it 11 or 12 goals you've got this season? He said 11. Well, maybe it'll be 12 by the end of this game, because there's going to be a few opportunities as Bilbao start to chase the lost cause.
Neymar earning the free kick.
Yeah, the foul from San Jose. This is the cross in, Kevin, earlier. And look at the defend, and he just goes to sleep, doesn't he? Bustinza, the young fullback. And Messi's in front of him, and you cannot allow him to get in front of you.
I must say, Jerry, when we saw the team sheet, we did worry a little bit for the Bast, didn't we? So much inexperience in that back four.
Well, he knew it was a gamble. He had to. Four times he's played in the first team before. It was a massive gamble. Look at this from Messi.
Wonderful stuff again. Here's Alves. Messi turning on the style again. Neymar.
Onside. Oh, tight one. This is where they're trying to capitalise on them, pushing players forward. Looking a little bit tired. Let's say, oh, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure he was. Get out of jail free card for him there. I think it's showtime. 58 goals from Lionel Messi this season, Kevin, and it's not over yet.
Useful ball in, and the header finds the net from Iñaki Williams. The 20-year-old is a scorer in the cup final, and it gives Athletic Bilbao a smidgen of hope of the most unlikely comeback.
Well, he came the closest in the first half, Kevin, with a volley off the top of the crossbar. He's worked his socks off. He's done really well here. Have a look at him getting up. He pushes his way. He fights for the line of the ball, and then he sticks it in the back of the net. That's a great piece of play against Busquets. Busquets not physically strong enough to stop Iñaki Williams, getting that lovely glancing header that nestles in the back of the net, and they deserve a goal for their efforts in the second half for me.
Busquets. Reef trying to claim he took the ball. Velasco Caballo saying he got a piece of Busquets. I think it was the case, yes.
He got a big piece from Cavalli at both legs.
Pedro, Rakitic. Mathieu. Forward by Echeta. Piqué getting the call, I think, from Mascherano that would be all the way through to Ter Stegen.
Yeah, it was a good call as well. Keeper was out quickly. A lot of space on his right-hand side.
This is Pedro. One of the few misplaced passes from Barcelona tonight.
I think it's one of those where it takes you 5 or 10 minutes to get into the game as a substitute.
Well, Jerry, they've been helped, and we have to say that, in terms of their goals, apart from the opener from Messi, which was, I mean, just you can't defend that kind of genius, but the other 2 goals were preventable. But aside from that, you know, how close is this Barcelona performance in its totality to what we were seeing under Guardiola? It has to be right up there.
It is right up there. I think the last 4 months, the season of this season, you know, I know Real Madrid sort of dallied and didn't perform as they should have done January, February. But you can't take it away from Barcelona. They've come from a long way back, a lot of points back, and overhauled them. They've done really, really well as Ter Stegen punches that one clear. And I think the last 4 months is as good as perfection as you got. Has a good strike on target.
Ibai Gomez with the effort.
Well, it's coming in. It's hit first time on the volley. It's a good strike.
Well, they're not going to go down, if they are to be defeated here, with a whimper. Athletic Bilbao, they want to make the last few minutes really interesting. Adariv. Bustinza with a cross. Drops nicely.
Oh.
And he just couldn't keep the half volley down. Ibai Gomez, but it was inviting.
It was, and he's come into the match and he's caused an impact for me. He's had 1 shot on target. He pops up, there's a deflection. He tries to take it in the half volley. It's a difficult skill, obviously. It's on the way up and he can't control the shot going over the crossbar, but it's a much better effort. I think they've made it more entertaining in the second half, Athletic Bilbao, because of the way they performed.
Here's Williams. Now Suzaeta. Red and white shirts gather in the Barcelona penalty area. Wouldn't quite drop for San Jose. Back out with Markel Suzaeta. Pedro.
Tackle. That's a bad tackle. It was late. It's got to be a yellow card.
Bustinza was the offender, and Carlos Velasco Caballo, as we're watching the replay, has gone across to have a word in the ear of Bustinza, but rather lenient there. I tend to side with Jerry. Could easily have been a yellow, that. Getting a push from Bustinza.
Again, he's a little bit impetuous, isn't he, Bustinza?
3 senior appearances, that's all before this cup final. One of them earned him a red card against Atletico Madrid, the skipper of the Athletic Bilbao B team. think they have missed Oscar DeMarcos and his industry.
Yes.
Mr. Versatile.
Yeah, he's not even in the squad, or he's in the squad but not on the bench, so he has to be injured, Kevin, and he's a quality player. But I don't, even with Oscar, I don't think they could have done anything today, because this is just an awesome Barcelona side, really is. And you look at the goals that they've scored, it's been absolutely breathtaking. 120 goals now, the front three, Kevin. That's the foul on Neymar.
Well, what Barcelona are, and they've got so many qualities. There's a bunch of professionals who have an insatiable appetite for trophies. They don't prioritise one over the other either. You talk to the Barcelona players ahead of this cup final, they say, this trophy is as important to us as winning the Champions League. Neymar with a little bit of showboating, and the athletic players don't like that. They really don't like that.
Well, he shouldn't be showboating, but that's why they're getting annoyed, you know. He's turning on the stand. San Jose not happy with him.
Show us some respect, I think, is the message.
Well, it could turn nasty. We don't want to turn it into what happened in 1984.
Mikel Rico's just been substituted, looking to get involved as well.
Well, it's Bustinza as well, Kevin, isn't it? He's been very fortunate, but this is the showboating you don't like to say, and then he goes down so easy. I think they're more annoyed about that than anything.
Mixture, maybe, perhaps. Well, we'll see in the remaining minutes whether it has calmed down out there. That chaos at the end of the '84 final that Jerry was touching on there. I watched it back earlier this week, and it was quite remarkable. Events that led to Maradona getting a 3-month ban. That final proved to be his last game for Barcelona.
When you've got people like Alessandro and Migueli and Goycochea all in the one part, something's going to happen.
Well, plenty happening out here at the moment. There's a booking for Neymar.
It's not that bad a challenge, Kevin, again. But I think it's because of the last incident that the referees reacted to that. Neymar's got himself a yellow card. Well, Adariz was booked for something off the ball, or something he said, I think, Kevin.
What a great ball. Wonderful first-time pass from Messi. Just didn't quite see its way through to Neymar. Brazilian, the arch-villain of everyone with an association to athletic right now. Heading towards the 90th minute. Barcelona fans going through their repertoire of victory songs, which will last long into the night here in Catalonia. Neymar.
He's going to get booked now.
Suzaeta with a late one there on the Brazilian. The feud simmers on.
Well, the ball's gone, Kevin. He's still having a swing on him, and Neymar does go down easy, but there's no necessity for it. He really doesn't need to have a kick on him. He's already kicked the ball away.
Well, Gerard Piqué making sure that Busquets stays out of the picture. Piqué's just saying, look, no need. We're 3-1 up. We're heading into stoppage time. Just don't get anything more than a yellow card. That would be foolish.
temper starting to get fred as we come towards the end, Kevin. It's a free kick in a good position.
Messi,
he's over the ball.
The game in a Messi-dominated final.
Xavi's there as well. If you fancy the right foot, you've got Neymar. If you fancy the right foot, Messi on the left. He's had one free kick in the first half that hit the target, forced a great save from Iago Herrera.
Well, what a story this could be. Xavi Hernandez finds the net, his last ever game at the Camp Nou. What a gloss this would put on a joyous Barca performance. Oh,
what a save.
Nearly made it. Just hit the outside of the post, I think.
Kevin, that's a great save. I think he gets a fingertip to it here. The keeper, have a look. No, it hits the post. Super effort from Xavi. We're talking an inch away from being in the back of the net.
Well, we had one of the 4 extra minutes. Brave as Lions, athletic, Jerry, as we knew they would be in this final, but ultimately outclassed.
Yeah, it's all about the class as well, Kevin, I have to say, and the way they've dominated games. And Barcelona's done this so well over the last 4 or 5 months. But Bilbao, I think Athletic Bilbao played their part. Certainly good second half and had a go. And look at this, Pedro breaking down the right-hand side.
He's going to check back into trouble, though.
But you can't stop that front three, Kevin. You know, we said at the very start, 117 goals from the front three. It's now 120. The front three have got themselves another 3 goals and assists between them. That's the answer. You know, you cannot stop all of them. You might stop one of them on the night. The other 2 will kill you. A goal like Messi scored for the first one is just outrageous. Really is outrageous.
Just figure that, everyone, for a second or two. 120 goals amongst your 3 strikers in one season. I wonder if we will ever see the likes again. Said that when Messi, Eto'o and Henry were running the show here at the Camp Nou. They only got 100 that season. Treble winning season.
It's only getting better. Here's Mathieu.
Heading now for the final 60 seconds.
That was an attacking player's challenge from Suzieta, wasn't it?
This is Piqué. Alves still full of running. Going to have to get his contract sorted out. Dani Alves.
I don't think there's anybody better than him at the club. Definitely not. In my opinion, I would sign him again.
Here's Rakitic. Mascherano. Ivan Rakitic again. Very last moments now of the 2015 Copa del Rey final. It's going to be a losing final in his first in the cup showpiece for Adariz. Can't add to his 26 goals this season. It's Barcelona's cup.